Alright, Shalom. All praises to YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and rest of the elect. Hey, Shalom. This lesson is just going to be going into this article, uh, basically going into some of the new food science that's going to be coming out in the, pretty soon. And this is a company, they're making how do you call it? It's soybeans that has pig DNA infused into the beans. So it has animal DNA as well as the plant DNA. So instead of these abominations that these different scientists and these wicked people of the world are coming up with in the name of saving the earth for the sustainability, the whole buzzword gang. But this is an article called Piggy Soy, which is the name of the product. And you see it down here, it's you have regular soybeans at the top, they're white, and then the ones that they infuse with the pork proteins are now turned pink. So they're like a hybrid of plant and flesh. It's an abomination. But you see here, the company is spelled Moolec, Moolec, but it's actually pronounced Molec. So the idol, the false god Molec, that the nations would sacrifice their children to. They're putting this stuff right in front of your face. But anyway, just to get into the article, it says Molec has received approval from the USDA for its plant-grown meat proteins, with the government body stating that its genetically engineered soybeans are unlikely to pose an increased risk of pests compared to non-modified soybeans. So this product here, this abomination, which USDA don't, it really, they're the drug administration, meaning they're the ones giving out the drugs. They're the ones, approving all these things, approving these abominations. If you look at what the food is allowed to go on here, or allowed to come out here, it's like, what do y'all even do? But other countries, they have way stricter laws on their foods. But here, you can just eat whatever. The food. This isn't even food here. You can't call it food. This is not food. Food is lawful, or what can be considered food is lawful. But anyway, back into the article. It says in its regulatory review, the USDA's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Services didn't find any plausible pathway by which Molec's piggy soy brings a higher pest risk. This means it isn't subject to the APHIS regulation that governs the movement of genetically modified organisms. So they didn't see it pose a risk to pests or anything like that. They're just basically bypassing all the regulations, so it can just go into market. So I'm going to jump down. It says, Molec has announced the development of the piggy soy, I even hate saying it, in June last year as part of its meat replacement program. So this is another thing. They don't want you to eat actual animals, which you shouldn't be eating pork anyway. But still, this is a thing they want everybody to eat. Part of the eating what they want you to eat. They want you to eat soy. You can grow man boobs or whatever. So you can get filled with estrogen and all this. The company bioengineering soybeans to produce porcine myoglobin. That's the proteins that's found in the meat, the muscles of the pig. Using the plants as bioreactors themselves, its seeds have received a high expression of pig proteins, up to 26.6% of the total soluble proteins, surpassing its initial projections by fourfold. So this is looking good. You know, especially to investors. They see how successful this product is. They're going to want to jump on board on this, especially if it saves them money. The tech has been patented, which will aid its regulatory pathways and produce beans that have a pink hue like pork. This achievement opens up a precedent for the entire scientific community that is looking to achieve high levels of protein expression in seeds via molecular farming. You know, yeah. I'm gonna jump down. You know, it's going different companies doing investments with it or investing in this company. The USDA APHIS approval allows the startup to accelerate its go-to-market strategy. Molec plans to provide food manufacturers with functional, nutritious, and eco-friendly ingredients for their product formulations. So they're sticking with that thing. This is eco-friendly. This is that and the other. You know, the buzzwords. Friendly for the environment. This involves replacing meat in sausages, burgers, and the like. So, hey, the processed foods, they're going to start using this. Well, they already used the soy in processed foods, but they're going to start replacing that soy with this soy. You know, hopefully, this is what they're looking to do. Palladini remains tight-lipped about the companies Molec is working with, but it has been in talks with the ingredients processors for partnerships that could see the startup license its IP or work with them in downstream processing to recover and commercialize the proteins using their networks. The Luxembourg-based company also has its own industrial facility in Argentina, which can crush 10,000 tons of soybeans annually and help it commercialize. So that's pretty much done with the article, but this here is they're keeping a secret, which Lord willing, I do some more digging around, I might be able to find something, but they're keeping it a secret who this company is working with, the different food processing companies. But it's no problem. No worries. I just pulled up because the name at first when it got me, like they really call this company Molec, and then they find out the pronunciation is Molec. It's like, oh, but this is that Canaanite god that these people worship, and they'd sacrifice their children to it. Basically had a chamber in there, and they'd go and give their children over to these priests, and they take them into the chamber, and while they burned them in the chamber, and while the children will be burning in the chamber, screaming out, crying or whatever, they would be playing these loud drums that would drown out the cries of the children. But I thought it was I don't know, whatever. I thought it was interesting or whatever that the place was, or the company was called Moo, or MOO, like the cow is Moo or whatever. And then Molec has the cow head, whatever. They're just putting all this stuff in your face. But normal people can't see this. Normal people don't even think about stuff like this. This is way above the heads of the average citizen or whatever. This is all fairy tale, whatever. But anyway, into the scriptures. And Salaki. But this is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 19 in verse 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. So these scientists, even in the scripture just said, thou art wiser than Daniel. They learn how to, engineer these plants on a molecular level. How to infuse animal proteins with these plants and it can still grow. How to make these abominations. Well, this is wickedness. The Lord made herbs for us to eat, and He made animals for us to eat. And this man, these people think they're saving the world, but they're not. I'm gonna get that same scripture in the GNT. This is Sirach 19 and 22 in the GNT. You may know everything there is to know about wickedness, which these people, they know everything that there is to know about wickedness. Like, this is a very wicked thing to do. And then your intention is to do this abomination, to make this abomination, this abominable seed, and then to feed it to people. You may know everything there is to know about wickedness, but that does not make you wise. So just because you know all this, all the science, and molecular this and that, and atoms, and if you put this with this, and we can increase our yields, and we can grow whatever. That doesn't make you wise. It doesn't make you smart. It makes you really a fucking idiot that just has access to stuff, access to technology, or whatever. It is not sensible to follow the advice of sinners. So these people, under the guise of climate change and saving the world or whatever, these are actual sinners, because they can't tell you why. They're telling you this is because we're polluting the earth or whatever, but they're not telling you why this is happening, because wickedness is abounding. They're not telling you that the YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI is getting ready to visit the world. These things are happening because this is actually the end of this era. They're not telling you that these things are happening. They're not giving you the reason. They're just saying, oh, it's climate change. Oh, we're drilling for too much oil. Oh, it's cars. It's because you eat too much meat. But anyway, continuing on. This is Proverbs 4 and verse 16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief. And this is these different companies, especially this company here. They've been working nonstop around the clock, to bring this out, and they're going to continue. And their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. And this is the wicked. They have these think tanks, these different get-togethers, these meetings, these summits, and all this stuff, just to come up with ways to destroy, for one, to destroy Israel, but yeah. And if you don't know, you should know this, that Ezekiel 4 and 13, and YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. So it's not like this is new. All the food here around the world, especially in Babylon the Great, is defiled. Everything from the water to the air to the literal bread, the meat, everything here is defiled in some way or another. And this is just one thing that's just come out. So until YAHAWASHI returns and puts it into this kingdom, hey, all this food is going to be defiled. And this is Leviticus 11 and verse 7. And this is going into the laws, of what's clean, what's okay to eat, what's not okay to eat. And the swine is not okay to eat. It's an abomination. This is Leviticus 11 and verse 7. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh ye shall not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch, they are unclean to you. So the swine, pig, pork, whatever you want to call it, is unclean. It's been unclean, it's always going to be unclean. And now they're putting this unclean beast, infusing it with plants. And soy is just about found in soy is found almost in everything. So with them being tight-lipped about which companies they're sharing these ingredients with or whatever, now you're like, oh, what do I eat? But you got to eat. You're gonna drive yourself insane or whatever, or starve yourself to death. But the Lord will provide. The Lord said his servants shall eat. This is because some people will think this is Matthew 5 and 17, because some people might think that because YAHAWASHI, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, died, now you can eat whatever, which is not true. This is Matthew 5 and 17, and I'm gonna get this in the GNT. Do not think that I have come to do away with the law of Moses and the teachings of the prophets. So YAHAWASHI is saying, I did not come to do away with the law. The law is still in effect, he's saying here. I have not come to do away with them, but to make their teachings come true. So what was written about him in the scriptures? To fulfill all that was written about him. The laws are still in effect, will always be in effect. But here in this time, you try your best, try to the best of your ability to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. To the best you can do. Like when we first started, when I first started learning about the truth or whatever, or not whatever, but when I first started learning about the truth, learn about what you can and can't eat. At first, it started going through, looking at all this stuff. It was easy at first because okay, just don't eat pork, don't eat shellfish, don't eat shrimp. And then you start looking at the ingredients, and you start looking at the ingredients. It's like, man, this is a lot of stuff. Like these ingredients have different names and all this stuff. But, you can drive yourself crazy doing that. But after a while, it gets a little easier because then you start finding, certain foods that you like that have a very short list of ingredients. Or you start shopping at different markets, whatever. It's a lot here in Babylon the Great. You have to do a lot of research, whatever. But eventually you keep it in mind that all the food is already defiled, but you're doing the best you can do. You're not saying, oh, all the food is defiled, fuck it, I'm just gonna eat pork anyway. I'm just gonna get a pack of bacon or whatever. Not like that. You're doing the best you can do. You still want to eat bacon, they got turkey bacon. You like pepperoni, they got turkey pepperoni. Me personally, turkey's okay. I don't even care for bacon. I didn't even miss it. But what I did find out is I really like lamb. Any chance I can get, pick up some lamb to be able to cook it, whatever. That's what I do. But hey, enough about me. But in these coming times, these coming times, there's going to be famines, all kinds of things going on, total chaos. Especially leading up to this, the food being more and more defiled. But we have the scriptures to give us hope. We learn from the scriptures, what's happened to the men, women, the believers of Israel that in the past, YAHAWASHI sent manna from the sky. He sent the quails. You can make fountains spring up from the ground. The Lord can do whatever, but just know that YAHAWASHI is going to take care of his servants. He's going to take care of his elect. This is Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So the scriptures were written for our learning. And it slips my mind, but nobody ever was let down that served YAHAWASHI. They were delivered in some way or another. And the scriptures give us comfort. And here I had two more examples, and I'll close out. This is 1 Kings, and I'll start at verse Slack you. I'm going to start at this is 1 Kings chapter 17 and verse 1. And Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, said unto Ahab, As Yahweh, power of Israel, liveth, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, but according to my word. And the word of Yahweh came unto him, saying, Get thee hence, and turn thee eastward, hide thyself by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. And it shall be that thou shalt drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. And so he went and did according to the word of Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi, and he went and dwelt by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. And the ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening, and he drank by the brook. So, and this time, for a period of time, Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi took care of Elijah. Had him by a brook where there was water, had the ravens bring him bread. And then later, I think in chapter 19, they even, brought him. You know what? I'll just get it. Let me see. Here we go. And I'll just get to the point. This is 1 Kings chapter 19 and 5. And as he lay and slept under a juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him and said unto him, Arise and eat. And he took, and he looked, and behold, there was a cake baking on the coals, and a cruse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink, and laid him down again. And the angel of Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi came again the second time, and touched him, and said, Arise and eat, because the journey is too great for thee. And he arose, and did eat and drink, and went in the strength of that meat 40 days and 40 nights unto Horeb, the mount of the Most High. So, Elijah was taken care of these days. You know, he the bread and water that the angel gave him sustained him for 40 days and 40 nights. You know, like that's the power of Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi. So he can sustain us to where we don't even have to worry about getting anything to eat. Matter of fact, I have one more that I want to get. This is from Bel and the Dragon. You know, he delivered food to us in different ways. However, the Lord will take care of his servants. Saying again. And this is in Bel and the Dragon, chapter 1 and verse 30. And this is when Daniel exposed the conspiracy of the king's priests. You know, they were saying that their god or whatever like that ate this food or whatever, and really it was them coming in and eating the food. You know, the priests, their wives and their children coming in eating the food, and Daniel exposed this conspiracy. So, you know, they wanted Daniel thrown in the lion's den because of this. So this is Bel and the Dragon, chapter 1 and verse 30. Now when the king saw that they pressed him sore, being constrained, he delivered Daniel unto them, who cast him into the lion's den, where he was 6 days. And in the den there were 7 lions, and they had given them every day 2 carcasses and 2 sheep, which then were not given to them to the intent they might devour Daniel. So they starved the lions were used to eating a certain amount every day. And so they starved them, you know, they stopped giving them that, so they would be even more hungry. So whenever they threw Daniel in there, so because they wanted to see him get torn apart. Now there was in Jewry a prophet called Habakkuk, who had made pottage and had broken bread in a bowl, and was going into the field to bring it to the reapers. But the angel of Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi said unto Habakkuk, Go, carry the dinner that thou hast into Babylon unto Daniel, who is in the lion's den. And Habakkuk said, Lord, I never saw Babylon, neither do I know where the den is. Then the angel of the Lord took him by the crown and bare him by the hair of his head, and through the vehemency of his spirit set him in Babylon over the den. And so the angel, you know, picked him up, whether he took him in a chariot or just carried. You know, I like the visual. You know, it's like, you know, sometimes you read the scriptures, you know, it's a serious situation, but when you imagine these things, you know, the first time reading or whatever, you know, some of these things you picture is like, man, that's, you know, anyway, the angel picked up Habakkuk and carried him over to Babylon, to Daniel. And Habakkuk cried, saying, O Daniel, Daniel, take the dinner which the Most High Yahawah hath sent thee. And Daniel said, Thou hast remembered me, O Yahawah bahasham, O Yahawah power. Neither hast thou forsaken them that seek thee and love thee. So even Daniel saying right there, he remembered, you know, the Lord Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi will not forsake his servants. So Daniel arose and did eat, and the angel of the Lord set Habakkuk in his own place again immediately. So, you know, this is just a few scriptures, you know, just to back up the point of, you know, the Lord is going to take care of his servants. I did have one more. Let me see here. There we go. This is, and I'll close out with this one. This is YAHAWASHI speaking, of worrying about these things, especially these things that we really don't have any control over. Because this is Yahweh's show. It's what he wants. He wants you to starve, whatever. Hey, that's how it's going to be. But this is Matthew chapter 6 and 25. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. So don't take any thoughts for this. Like, no, don't put too much into this. Is not the life more than meat, and the body raiment? Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? So even the birds get taken care of. They don't work. They just go around picking seeds, bugs, whatever. The Lord feeds them. And the servants of the Lord are much better than birds. Far more valuable. Far more valuable than the wicked in this world. That think that they're doing good by making an abomination of plant or pork infused plants. But hey, Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to say all praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Shalom.